Okay, I think that I'm live with another new comic book weekly. Thank you guys for joining me. So today we're going to be talking about my weekly pull list. Let's get it on the screen so you guys can see. So we're going to be talking about the what is it like the eight pulls for the week of January 14th. Of course, we're also going to be reviewing some comic books that came out last week. So we have Arc M, as you guys see, the hotness, Absolute Superman as well, number 15. Then we have some great stuff from DC, like Batman for Matt Fraction, Jorge Jimenez. We got some Night Fight as well as some Batgirl. And then to close this out, we have some Marvel with Ultimate Wolverine issue number 13. So we're going to get into those reviews after the pull list. And then the big topic for today's stream, we'll be going over my in-depth, full entire pull list as we're going into 2026. So everything that I'm pulling from Marvel, DC, and all the indies, we're going to go over it. If you guys have never ever built a pull list before, this should be the stream for you. Dread Honey saying yo in the chat. What's up, Dread Honey? Thanks for joining us. So yeah, first things first, we always like to start with the weekly pull list. And this week has a lot of bangers on it. Gotta be honest, more of an indie heavy week for sure. Southside Ronin says, "What's up?" in the chat. What up, family? Also, Absolute Superman pick of the week for sure, dude. Excited to get into it because I think it was my pick of the week as well. But yeah, we'll get into that here in a second. I wanted to talk about the pull list for the week. And I did want to mention too, if you guys are on YouTube, I'm also streaming on YouTube vertical. I don't know how the hell that works, but we're trying it out today. So if there's any technical hiccups, that would be why. But let's get into it. My pull list for January 14th, I have 8 pulls for a total of 36.92. So pretty light week for me. Right under that 10. I try to budget for like 10 comics a week, so we got 8 coming in right under 10. Javier Hernandez in the chat says, "Hey dude, love your content. Thanks for watching, Javier. Really appreciate you coming out to the stream." And let's get into it. So, first things first, though, we're going to get into the stuff that's not indies, and then we got nothing but indies, as you guys can see. So, first up, let's go DCKO number 3. How are we feeling about DCKO? I've been loving it. Hopefully, you guys have been loving it as well, because we have the Elite 8. So, the Elite 8 are all that remains in the DCKO tournament. It's all been coming to this. The Elite 8 remain, and all hell is going to break loose. It's tag team time. As the Omega tournament reaches its endgame, the final 8 combatants are put to the ultimate test, confronted with a decades-long stay in their own personal hell. Emotions run high as heroes falter, villains revel, and the Heart of Apocalypse eyes its new king Omega. In the end, only the final 4 will remain. Obviously, a series that's been written by Scott Snyder, Josh Williamson all the way throughout. Got the excellent artwork from Germanico, and then Javier Fernandez. Oh, Javier Hernandez is in the chat, dude. What's up? That really threw me off. I thought I was, anyways. But yeah, really excited to get into DCKO. I've been loving the event so far. I haven't read some of the All Fight Month entries. I didn't read. I got to catch up and read on the app. But yeah, we're just looking forward to more DCKO. I think it's been pretty fun so far. This is obviously the main title. No tie-ins, I believe, this week. I could be wrong on that. No titles that I'm picking up. No tie-ins that I'm picking up, anyways. But yeah, so DCKO is the first pick of the week. What's up, Vac? What's up, Vactor in the chat? Let's talk about Ultimates number 20. Man, if you guys caught the last Ultimates issue, it's not looking so hot for our Ultimates team. We know that they were backstabbed by the Wasp. She's been working with the enemy for a really, really long time, working with this version of Nick Fury and his hand agency. So it's not SHIELD. Nick Fury runs HAND, and it's an acronym in this universe. I don't know what it stands for, but they're the bad guys. He works for the maker. And yeah, so let's read the solicit. The Fire and the Sergeant Fury. Following up on the darkly brilliant Ultimate Universe Year 1, or 1 year in, sorry, the Makers Council's army of Nick Fury LMDs comes back into play. Secrets of the Fury program and of HAND are revealed. Yeah, so we know that. Actually, that rings a bell. I think I remember that. There was like a bunch of clones of Nick Fury, I think. So I think that's what they're kind of referring to. Just as you can see on the cover, just a bunch of Nick Furies. And yeah, dude, Ultimate's number 20. This follows Ultimate Endgame as well, so we know that DCKO is going on, but then Ultimate Endgame is going on at the same time over at Marvel. And I've been loving it so far. Yeah, as the Ultimate Universe is coming to a close. Pretty tragic the last issue though, I will say. Just the whole Wasp thing and the backstabbing her team, and yeah, it's pretty brutal. Next up, let's talk about Transformers 28. This is issue number, I don't know which one, of Dan Mora and Robert Kirkman. Let's go back. They jumped on with 25. So it's going to be their fourth issue on the title. I think that this arc is pretty strong. Yeah, it's pretty strong, I will say. I mean, the Dan Mora artwork is definitely doing a lot of heavy lifting. It's really cool seeing his look for all of the Transformers. Story-wise, there's not a ton going on right just now. I guess we're kind of in a lull for the series, and we're about to, kick it back up and get more into some fighting with the Decepticons. But I feel like both the sides are kind of split right now. They're kind of just recuperating and kind of getting ready for what's ahead. Mirage and Bulkhead are back in action. Get ready for awesome. And RC makes a stunning decision that will shock every Transformers fan. You see there on the cover, guessing that's Mirage and Bulkhead, man. So if you guys are into Transformers, you're probably picking this up out of the Energon universe. Vactor in the chat says, Dan Mora can do no wrong in my eyes. Definitely agree. He's got a really cool style. Crazy how he's doing all this stuff, but then working over at DC, but then doing a bunch of covers. Dan Mora is just the man. So looking forward to this. Got Mike Spicer still doing the coloring, of course. And yeah, pretty cool for the Energon universe. I will say though, as we get into our next one, skipping over TMNT real quick. So I want to talk about G.I. Joe. This is the last issue of the Dreadnought War. Been a fun little arc in the G.I. Joe title. Honestly, this Dreadnought stuff might be like the best G.I. Joe stuff that they've done so far. I think it's really cool. Seeing the whole, I'm having a bad hair day, by the way. I didn't fix my hair at all before I started streaming. Anyways, Josh Williamson, Tom Riley are doing really cool stuff. It's cool seeing Cobra Commander and Duke teaming up. Like, they didn't want to team up necessarily, but they're like, hey, enemy of my enemy is my friend. Let's try to team up and just get out of this situation. And we see on the cover, Cobra Commander. He's got the chainsaw, dude, or he's got some sort of weapon. Actually, I think in the last issue, he cut the chainsaw guy's hand off. So I don't know. This cover might be not totally accurate. But yeah, dude, Cobra Commander is going to battle with the rest of the Dreadnoughts. Maybe Duke and his group can help him out. I don't know. We'll have to see. Or is Cobra Commander on his own? But yeah, I've been loving G.I. Joe. Let's take a look at the variant covers too. Ooh, we got some nice Libra Mayho. That is an insane cover. That's a crazy cover. I will not be buying that. That's really funny from Ben Oliver. Cool. Yeah, dude. So yeah, I've been loving all the G.I. Joe stuff, loving all the Transformer stuff, and I think the G.I. Joe stuff might be a tad better. That might be a hot take. All right, let's back it up and talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 14. Ujigami strikes again. The mysterious new villain has claimed another victim in their drive to make the city safe at any cost. While the Turtles still struggle to get any upper hand on their new adversary, Donatello has suspicions about their true identity that may mean a whole new set of problems for our half-shell heroes. Trying to get ahead, the Turtles set a trap using Ujigami's likely next victim as bait, the leader of the Foot Clan, Karai. So we know Jin the Wen Yang. This is the second issue writing. Freddie E. Williams is the second issue on the art. I thought their first issue was pretty solid. I thought it put us in a really good place for the TMNT universe. I think that the sort of mystique and the intrigue with this new villain, we know that his origins are a little bit, should we say, like a little bit, it's closer to home than maybe we expect, than the Turtles expect for sure. So once they find out who is actually our villain here, that might break some hearts. No spoilers here, because you got to read the last issue, the very tail end. We found that out, but really cool revelation. I'm liking the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff. One issue in, so it's hard to say if this is better than the Jason Aaron Juan Ferreira stuff, right? That 12 issue run that they had prior to this. I think that Jin Lin Yang and Freddie Williams, we're in a safe spot. I think that they got us covered with TMNT over here. Still early in their run, obviously. This is only issue number 2, but I've been loving it. I think it's got a pretty good story so far, and Freddie Williams has a cool style, man. Very similar to that on the cover, as you can see. So kind of like Juan Ferrara, but not. You know what I mean? And then um, you got the Andrew Dalhouse coloring on top. But yeah, Team NT number 14. Looking forward to it. We got 3 more issues to talk about today before we get into the comic book reviews. Let's talk Geiger number 20. Geiger is my boy. Everybody knows it. Geiger's my boy. I love Geiger so much. Issue 20, really excited about that. We get this guy introduced in the story. Now, if you don't know who that guy is, his name is the Northerner, I believe. And he's a character from the Redcoat series. I don't know what he's going to be doing in this series. It's pretty interesting. I didn't read Redcoat. I'm behind. As part of the Ghost Machine universe, or like the unnamed universe that they got. So yeah, the unnamed universe. You got Redcoat. I have not caught up on Redcoat. I think this character is pretty prominent in that. But let's read the solicit. After the explosive finale of Redcoat the Northerner, the mysterious Union soldier finds himself face to face with Tariq Geiger in the radioactive future. But is he here to help or to change everything? The next era of Geiger begins here. I guess you could say this is a start of an arc, I guess. Javier Hernandez says, am I getting any variant covers for any of these? That's a good question. So, like, variant covers just in general, my shop is kind of small, right? So, I live in Maine. We don't have the biggest comic shops in the world. My comic shop, they typically do not order, like, if you don't order it, they won't order it themselves, right? For you to get. Like, you have to have a pull list. So like when I go there on Wednesday, if it's not on my list, it won't be on the stands, right? So typically they don't have like extra covers on the stands to choose from. They really only order variant covers if you tell them, hey, I want cover B for this issue, and then they will order it for you. Um, so yeah, although I would like to maybe swap out, like instead of getting a cover A, I can get a variant off the stand and kind of swap them out like that. My shop doesn't have that option, doesn't have that ability. So unfortunately, I'm mostly a cover A kind of guy. I kind of like the cover A's because they all line up in the series, right? They all match usually by the same artist all the way throughout. But it would be cool to get some more variants from time to time. But unfortunately, my shop just doesn't have the ability. I could order it prior to, but I don't go so heavy into the variant covers to, look 3 months ahead of time and see what variants are coming out. Mostly cover A kind of guy. But thanks for the question, Javier. Appreciate it. But yeah, man, Geiger 20, start of a new arc. Got Gary Frank, of course, on the art, Jeff Johns, and the rest of the team. Geiger's my boy. If you guys aren't reading Geiger, you really should. You don't need to read everything else in the unnamed universe. You could just read Geiger, in my opinion. I think that's the one that kind of stands out. 2 more issues to talk about. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, The Rite of Spring, issue number 5. This one says it's the year's most surprising cliffhanger in this comic. Discover Samantha Strong's endgame in the penultimate issue of Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring. Samantha's plans for Monica and all of Woodbrook are finally revealed. If you guys have not read Beneath the Trees, the art style looks exactly like the cover here with Patrick Horvath's amazing kind of storybook art style. It's really unique. You don't see comic books looking like this, but you definitely don't see comic books, with the amount of graphic, kind of gruesome. It looks like it wouldn't match this art style, but the story that they're telling is really kind of dark and adult, and it's about murder, it's about serial killing. Just to give you guys background, so Beneath the Trees, the first arc was about this main character, Samantha Strong. She lives in Woodbrook, a small town. She goes to the city though to do her serial killing. She's a serial killer. And then she goes back to her small town and just chills and lives and tries not to get caught. In the first arc, we found out that, someone was like kind of onto her. So she had to, figure that out and not get caught. In this second arc, it's in the future. And one of the people that she murdered way back in the day, their sister is investigating the murders and is on to her and is close to figuring out that, potentially she is the serial killer. So very interesting series going on, kind of this cat and mouse sort of situation. And yeah, we're loving everything that Patrick Horvath is doing in the Beneath the Trees universe, the penultimate issue. Excited to see how that one closes out. And then finally, before I get to that, Javier Hernandez says, I see, I'm also a cover A person. Yeah, dude, I think the cover A's, I wish I get more variants, but yeah, definitely cover A person. Last but not least, let's talk about Die Loaded issue 3. Have you Did you ever wonder, was Sauron's mom sad? She had such hopes for him. Well, here we venture into a world where a broken mother guards the ruins of her son's downfall. Can anyone survive? That makes it sound like we're getting a another character kind of added to the party. Maybe one of the other main characters in the previous volume, one of their mothers. So that is interesting from Kieran Gillen and Stephanie Hans. For those that don't know about Die, it's a series all about this board game, essentially, this like RPG tabletop game. These kids get sucked into the game of Die, kind of like Jumanji, right? But it's a fantasy world with dragons, and you pick your class, and you can be a knight and all that stuff, right? And they try to get out of the game. In the first volume, they get out as they're kids. They get sucked back in when they're adults. So it's kind of like, oh, we got to get out again. And then in the second volume here, Die Loaded, it's a new group of people that get sucked in for the first time following the events of the first volume. So how are they going to get out? They don't know the rules of Die like our previous party. And yeah, dude, we're loving Die. It was a really fun read last year. Stephanie Hans, excellent, excellent on the artwork. The more I read of Kieran Gillen, the more I love his stuff. And yeah, we're excited about this Die Loaded series following up the excellent Die. But that's it, man. That's the comic book pull list for the week of January 14th. 8 comics, $36. Let me know what you guys are pulling down in the comments, of course. My pick of the week, though, pick of the week has got to be, it's either Geiger or G.I. Joe, if I'm being honest with you, or DCKO. Because DCKO is just hype, right? It's like the DC hotness, right? So it's either DCKO, G.I. Joe, or it's Geiger. That's tough. That's tough to choose. But yeah, those are my pull list for the week of January 14th. Definitely let me know what you guys are pulling. And like if you like, of course. While you're down there leaving a comment, let me know what your favorite pull is. But let's get into the weekly comic book reviews, of course. We got a lot of stuff to go over. Like I was saying earlier, Absolute Superman. We got Arc M. We got Batman. Some Ultimate Wolverine. Just a little bit of Marvel. Got some DCKO tie-ins. And then we got a little Batgirl on the very back. What should we start with, dude? Let's start with Absolute Superman, all right? So, this issue was awesome, okay? So, we get the new artist jumping on board. I mentioned it earlier when I was talking about TMNT. We have Jason Aaron writing, but we got Juan Ferrara coming in doing the art. So, different artists in the cover, but as I'm flipping through, you guys will see it. Juan Ferrara, such a great look for Absolute Superman. Loving the new suit. This really was, Absolute Superman just living his life, a day in the life, essentially, right? So he's going around. This is following the Battle of Smallville, and so yeah, it's essentially just a Superman just holding the entire world on his back. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to solve every problem that anybody has. He gets these really epic moments, like he's confronting the Toy Man here, but he's like stopping a dam from bursting. He's trying to look for Brainiac at the same time. He's trying to rehabilitate Ra's al Ghul, which I thought was pretty genius, just as a move from Jason Aaron to show like, yeah, this Absolute Superman, like he's on a different wavelength, bro. Like he's all about rehabilitating his evilest villains. Like we've seen how bad Ra's al Ghul is, literally just dropping babies off of skyscrapers, right? So he's a real bad guy. Absolute Superman is going to try to read poetry to him over the course of this issue, try to break him down. And he's reading poetry written by Ra's al Ghul's victims. So that's some deep stuff, man. I love it. We got this great moment of Absolute Superman talking to Lois Lane. So they're still keeping that connection going. We'll have to see if it, there was some talk of maybe going on a date at some point. So that might be fun to see. We got Lana Lang, of course. This moment broke me, bro. I can't even, right? So it's I'll read it here just because I think it's one of the best moments of the Absolute Superman series in general. There's a child in Thailand, body riddled with cancer, no family. She doesn't want to die alone, staring at the ceiling. I make sure she doesn't. Like, I just got chills, bro, as we see Absolute Superman here comforting a child with cancer. And then he goes right back to trying to rehabilitate Ra's al Ghul, man. So, yeah, I'm loving this characterization of Absolute Superman. Like it's just perfect. Jason Aaron's just killing it. It's new and refreshing with, but still feeling classically Superman. And we get this great ending here. We'll have to see what happens with this. We get that evil Hawkman. If you read Absolute Evil, you know that the Hawkman in this universe is working for the bad guys. We get this little tease to Brainiac. He's wandering around the globe, and he's going to the Luthor farm. So what's up with Lex Luthor in this universe? We don't know. We only got that one panel tease of him at one point. But yeah, man, I just think Absolute Superman, it's just one of my favorite series coming out of DC. I think it's so sick. So hopefully you guys are reading it. It might be better than Absolute Batman. I don't know. It's tough. It's real tough, especially because Absolute Batman's on like a real high point after the whole Bane arc. That stuff was so epic. Let's talk about Absolute Batman Arc M. This was the origin story of Arc M, but it also provided to give us a little bit of a origin story to this absolute Joker. So that was a little bit unexpected. Like the twist in this, I really found to be unexpected. I didn't expect it at all. You got that great dark artwork from Joshua Hickson. I'm a big fan of his work. If you've read the series called The Deviant, written by James Tynion IV, just all about Dr. Arkham or whatever, and he's just going around talking about his experience owning the place, and now it's kind of falling to disrepair. He talks about how he took in this like child and tried to teach him, all about running an insane asylum or trying to help people with mental health and stuff like that. It turns out that little kid, maybe that kid's a villain. Maybe that kid's our Joker. I don't know, dude. Yeah, this whole sequence here at the back, it got me, bro. I didn't expect that to be the twist. And just some real darkness from this absolute Joker, man. We'll have to see how Batman handles this. I did want to mention, which part was it? I think, yeah, right here. So we got an introduction to some new absolute villains. Obviously on the case files, we see stuff like Kirk Langstrom, Pamela Isley, Hugo Strange, Jonathan Kane, Basil Karlo, Jervis Tetch. But then obviously we get my Deathstroke, as the Joker calls him. So yeah, dude, we'll have to see this Deathstroke versus Batman. Could be. In the chat, we got Danny P119 saying Arc M is awesome. I agree. This is a 5 out of 5 issue. I think it was so good. It proves to me that like you got to pick up these one shots in the absolute universe, because you never know what kind of bomb they're gonna drop on you, or just kind of revelation about the absolute universe. I've been loving it. Let's continue our talk with Batman number 5. So Batman Bat 5 was excellent. It was kind of like a date night go wrong, really action packed, as we see Bruce Wayne trying to, go on a date with this girl. She's like a scientist that works for Wayne Enterprises, I think. But as they're going through, it turns out some people are after this doctor. And so Bruce Wayne has to keep it hidden that he's Batman, but still keep this doctor safe as they're kind of running around the city. We got cool, car chases, and we get an introduction to a new villain, I believe. Dang it. What was her name? Ojo? It's in the solicit, but it's not here, so my bad. Wait, actually, it's in the cover? Ojo? Yeah, the Ojo Strikes. Okay, so new villain named Ojo. Seems pretty cool. Has these like katana swords. Something with a bird. She like controls birds as well. We get a really funny moment as Bruce Wayne is helping the doctor girl up this ladder, and she's saying, "Hey, don't look up my skirt." I'm pretty sure Bruce is looking there, bro. I'm pretty sure. I guess I don't know, but just the way that Jorge Menez, it makes it look like he's looking. Anyways, and then we get this great kind of twist as Damian, he accidentally calls Bruce Wayne father, not knowing that the doctor lady is hidden. So that'll be an interesting mess to clean up in the next issue. Thanks a lot, Damian. As we see, Bruce is pissed, dude. If he could give Damian a spanking, he probably would. Next up, let's talk Ultimate Wolverine 13. I thought this issue was excellent as well. And what really struck me about this one was how awesome the art was. So we don't get Cappuccio on the art, but we get Carbone, and we get that coloring from Valenza that we know and love. But look how excellent, as I'm flipping through, hold on, right here. Look at this Ultimate Wolverine. That's just such a cool look for him, dude. So this issue is all about Ultimate Wolverine. They're trying to maybe plan an attack, but they're also kind of just chilling because the Phoenix is the Wolverine has broken the Phoenix out, and so the Phoenix has to still kind of recuperate and rest before she's able to like wake up or whatever. But Wolverine, it's essentially just a giant battle in this issue all the way throughout between Wolverine and, I guess I'm not a X-Men guys, okay? I think it's Ursa Major, something like that. Some mutant bear, I think. So Wolverine's like, hey, I don't want no trouble, bub. But then this bear creature just starts attacking him, and Wolverine has to kind of fight back. I just thought it was really action packed and like had a really cool moments, like Wolverine just being Wolverine, just slashing, and you got the snicks coming out when he's the claws are extending and really bloody. I just thought it was like an action packed issue for sure, and just another good one in the Ultimate Wolverine um, series so far. Ultimate Wolverine, his whole plan was to go and try to get some medicine for Phoenix, I think. And yeah, we'll have to see what happens in the next issue. Yeah, kind of just like a little side quest issue, I guess, where we just see Ultimate Wolverine. We get that new artist, and it's just really action packed. Good stuff though from Chris Condon. Let's talk about Night Fight. Okay, so DCKO Night Fight. This one, I guess the ending is really controversial. I don't know why, but we'll get into it, right? So it starts off, we know Batman, he was going to do the KO tournament. Well, not something. The Joker killed him before he could get into the tournament, kind of took his spot. So Batman's kind of on this little side quest, and he's going from like world to world. The heart of Apocalypse has created all these worlds for Batman, and is trying to like break him down or kind of beat him or whatever. Just throw him challenges, and all the worlds that it's placing Batman in are just worlds that are, you know, the Dick Grayson being Batman, or the Tim Drake being Batman, or like that. So all the different worlds are kind of owned by different Batmans or whatever. And in this one, he goes from the Jason Todd world into the Tim Drake Batman world. Just like, I don't know. This is probably the weakest issue of DCKO or DCKO Night Fight, I have to say. Just like a lot of talking, a lot of talking between Tim Drake and Batman. And then at the very end, we know that our Batman, he goes into the world of Damian Wayne. And it looks like Damian Wayne is set up in a way that Batman is not even necessary. Like Damian Wayne has fixed the world. So that'll be interesting to see in the next issue. But at the very end, we know that Damian Wayne has a son, Bruce Wayne's grandson, named Alfred. And people were saying, like, you can't name him Alfred. He's not. And I'm like, guys, you can name anybody whatever. He didn't say it was Alfred Jr., Alfred the Third. He's just saying his name is Alfred. So I don't know why this is so controversial. I guess people don't know how juniors work and all that stuff. Like if your dad has the same name as you, you know, he didn't say that. Anyways, I don't know why that made me so mad when I first saw that controversy. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? It's a make-believe like universe anyways. It's not real. We know that the Heart of Apocalypse has created that world. Batman versus happiness, says Vactor. Absolutely. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. In a world where Batman isn't required, like what's the what does Batman do after that, right? All right, let's talk about the last review for today before we get into my full entire pull list for 2026. Let's talk Batgirl number 15. I thought this was a great issue. It's Cassandra Cain. She is starting to realize that, hey, maybe the people I've been trying to help, the daughter of Ra's al Ghul, what's her name? Talia? No, not Talia. It's the sister. So Cassandra Cain's been hanging out with her in her city that she's kind of created, trying to be a safe haven for a lot of other people. Turns out that is, that safe haven was maybe stolen from the Unburied, these people here. And it turns out the Unburied are planning an attack, and they're going to like surprise attack everybody here. So Cassandra Cain's brother is trying to race to them and trying to warn. And yeah, so I thought it was a pretty good issue. as we, at the very end, we know that the Unburied, they're getting ready. So it looks like the next issue is going to be like an all-out kind of battle between these two different factions. It's an all right issue. I think that it's just like weird how the Batgirl series has gone from like peak stuff at DC. Like that first arc was so peak. Now we're like, nah, I'm not so feeling it anymore. I'm not feeling like this was like a 7 out of 10 issue, maybe like a 6.5 or something like that. So I want to keep pulling it because like we can get back to that place. You know what I mean? But anyways, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how the this arc concludes. I don't want to drop it, dude, but there's a lot of cool stuff coming out. It's tough. We'll figure it out. But anyways, that is the comic books that I wanted to review for you guys from last week's New Comic Book Day. And now we're going to get into the pull list for 2026. The entire pull list, everything that I'm pulling, my dog's going crazy. Hey! Stop barking. All right, sorry about that, guys. All right, so let's get into my pull list for 2026. All the comics I'm pulling from DC, Marvel, and the indies, of course. So let me get it up here on my phone. Let's see. Hopefully this didn't break. It did. Nope, it didn't. Okay, cool. All right, so let's talk about the pull list. All of the subscriptions. The app we're using is League of Comic Geeks. Please don't ask me what app I'm using. It's the League of Comic Geeks, all right? Let's get into it, man. So I went through and I cleaned up the subscriptions portion of my app. Everything here is something on my pull list. It's something that I'm interested in checking out, at least for an issue 1, right? Or it's a long ongoing series that I've been loving. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about the absolute titles. Okay, so Absolute Batman, that's on my pull. No surprises there. I mean, I've been loving the Absolute Batman series all the way throughout. Been pulling it since the start. Look how many, like 5 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 issues, man. It's been a really great series. So, gonna keep it going. We got that Nick Dragotta on the artwork. We know that they're about to cross over with Absolute Wonder Woman. Just a ton of hype in this series. Probably a no-brainer that I'm pulling it. A surprise for you guys might be Absolute Flash. I'm loving it. I think that Jeff Lemire is really surprising me the last couple issues. I know that we got this Wally West. He's hanging out with Grodd. That connection, like Grodd and Wally West, that's like really why I'm pulling this series. I think their connection is just so cute. It's so cute, man. I'm just all about it. The fact that they're just there for each other when they both feel so alone. Yeah, man, it's just like so genius for Jeff Lemire to turn Grodd into one of Wally West's like companions, right? So I've been loving it. Absolute Flash. Hoping it gets better. Like it's not the best series of all time, but it's one that has a spot on my pull list for sure. Next up, let's talk Absolute Green Lantern. This one has been off and on my pull list, man. It's tough. Because like if I drop it, it'd be the only one that I'm dropping for the Absolute Universe. But I didn't pick up issue 9. I didn't pick up issue 10. I guess it's dropped. It's for sure dropped. I'll just catch it on DC Universe Infinite. One of the things I'm trying to like, yeah, you can't be picking up everything. It's tough, guys. You know what I'm saying? So Absolute Green Lantern is a series that I had dropped after the first arc. Yeah, as you guys can see, I mean, just look at my ratings for it, right? Like that issue 6, I gave it a 3 out of 5. I rarely give things 3 out of 5, which sounds crazy, but yeah, was not feeling the Absolute Green Lantern series. I got to catch it on DC Universe Infinite, but a series that I'm really loving, Absolute Martian Manhunter. Oh, I forgot to say, Chewy Queso in the chat says, no, Jerry. Yeah, you might be able to hear him whining. He's whining over there. Actually, can you guys see him? He's just standing there. There's some kids outside, and he's just like really interested in them. They're playing on the street, so he wants to go play with them, I think. And then also, Vactor said Absolute Grodd rules. Dude, that Absolute Grodd, like that change to the Grodd character, I just think it's so cool. But yeah, Absolute Martian Manhunter. Wait, why didn't I rate? I definitely picked up issue 7. I didn't rate it though. But yeah, man, we're looking forward to how they conclude this series. We know that it's going for 12 issues, I believe. And I think Dennis Camp's just killing it. Javier Rodriguez with the art, of course. That's a series that's got to be on the pull list. Okay, and then you got Absolute Wonder Woman, my favorite DC title. I think, I think at this point you can just confirm it, just lock it in. I think Absolute Wonder Woman is my favorite DC title, so of course that one has got a pull list spot as well. As we're looking forward to Absolute Zatanna, the new story arc is beginning soon. Yeah, man, a lot of cool stuff coming in the Absolute universe just in general. But those are the Absolute titles that are on my pull list. Everything but Green Lantern at this point. Let's talk about this Mad Cave Studio real quick. It's called Area 51. It's written by Kurt Pyers with art from Jock. The solicit, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it sounds like it's all about the president's son named Harvey. He gets in trouble with the law. His dad calls in a favor and gets him assigned to the real life Area 51. But it's not a thrill ride the conspiracy theorists would have you believe. He spends most of his days cataloging items he's forbidden from even looking at. Something goes wrong in the Area 51. And yeah, I think like a lot of the experiments, whatever, going to be released. I think that Kurt Pyers is just killing it right now. He's doing a lot of cool stuff like Lost Fantasy over at Image Comics. He did the Indigo Children, which I thought was really good out of Image Comics as well. But you got that artwork from Jock. I think that's the real kind of driver for me. Is this Jock we know and love? It's not. Oops. Well, anyways, it still sounds like a pretty interesting series. So that one we might pick up the issue 1 just to try it out. But let's keep it pushing and talk about Adventures of Superman Book of L. This is the continuation of PKJ, so Philip Kennedy Johnson's War World Saga. It's been going on for a really, really long time. This is the kind of next and final chapter of it. So we're going to ride that out. I think PKJ has been doing real great stuff over on the Superman corner of DC. We mentioned Dennis Camp earlier. Let's talk about him again with Assorted Crisis Events. This is an ongoing series, Dennis Camp says, so they have no plans on stopping it, I guess. We're going to continue with it, of course. I think that, look how many, this might be like this series might be like the highest rate. Like, look at this. It's all 5 issues except for issue 4, which that one honestly could be 5 issues. And then the last issue that came out, issue 7, which I wasn't like the hottest on. But yeah, Assorted Crisis Events has been excellent. Excellent sci-fi stuff. It's an anthology book, so you can just pick up any issue and just start reading. There's no like, you don't have to keep track of characters and stuff like that. Each issue is a brand new story. And yeah, it's been really crazy what Dennis Camp is able to do and the things he's able to express just in general, like in all of his series, but in this Assorted Crisis Events, it's really doing some crazy, crazy stuff. So that's really cool. Looking forward to that. Batgirl, we just talked about. So I was really loving the initial arc for Batgirl. I think after issue 6, it got into like Shiva's year 1 or like her origin story. It's like whatever. Like, yeah, this arc we're in now, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I want her to get back into Gotham, I think. Like, get back to Gotham and start doing stuff that way. I don't know. We can get back to the peak though of this series. Like, that first arc was so good. I know for a fact we can get back there, so we're gonna keep writing it out. Batman by Matt Fraction, Jorge Jimenez. I've been loving it. You know what's real cool about this Batman series too? You can just pick up an issue and just start reading it. Like, obviously, it'd be helpful if you read issues number 1. Oh, this is the wrong This is the Hush 2 one. Disregard. I'm not talking about Hush 2. We're talking about Matt Fraction, Jorge Jimenez, all right? So it's real cool that, like, for example, issue 5 came out, Ojo, that was a good one. You don't really necessarily need to read issues number 1 through 4. Like, you can just pick up it and just start reading. I think the way that Matt Fraction is constructing this series so far is really kind of genius, in the fact that everyone can just jump in. Like, there is that arc going on, right? But it doesn't feel like it. Like, you really feel like each issue is its own story. And yeah, man, I think that this series has been really fun. At this point, it's still early to say if I'm liking it better than Chip Zdarsky's, for example, because the failsafe stuff was first for Chip, right? So that's tough. That stuff was pretty epic. But yeah, at some point, it could be that this Batman series overtakes Chip Zdarsky's Batman series in my mind. It very well could be. But right now, it's probably too early to tell because The failsafe stuff was so sick. I mean, that was just like some real peak Batman stuff. Batman Green Arrow, The Question, Arcadia. I was talking to you guys about this one. I didn't really like issue 1. I picked up issue 2. We'll definitely continue and pick up issue 3 just to close the series out. I collect a lot of Black Label and single issues, so that's fine there. Batwoman, this is part of DC's Next Level. The new Factor says in the chat, I gotta check out Tom King's Batman run. I gotta hear. I hear mixed things, but I gotta make my own opinion of it for sure. Batwoman from Greg Rucka, and we got Denis coming in. So I'm loving the premise of this, like just the idea of Greg Rucka coming back to Batwoman. I'm all in. We'll be picking this up for sure. Yeah, looking forward to that one in the DC Next Level kind of wave. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring. They're on their penultimate issue coming out this Wednesday that I'm recording. So after that, it'll be one more issue, close it out. So that one will be on the pull list for sure. Got to collect that series in singles. Patch Horvath's artwork is just breathtaking, man. Now we're talking about some DC Vertigo. We got Bleeding Hearts. This one is coming out in February. And this is the one from Dennis Camp with artwork from Stepan Morian. So, yeah, dude, this is going to be one to pick up for sure. Dennis Camp is just on a heater. I mean, you go from Assorted Christ events, the Ultimates, Absolute Martian Manhunter into Bleeding Hearts. I'm with you, Dennis. I'm with you. I'm riding with you, man. And Stepan Morian has a really cool art style. If you guys haven't read the series 20th Century Men, Dennis Camp and Stepan Morian had previously worked on that. Excellent, excellent war story there. But yeah, I'm excited for Bleeding Hearts. It's all about zombies. Zombies have overtaken the Earth, right? And the zombies that are left, it's been however many years after the fall of man, and the zombies that are left have started developing their own culture, their own language. So like and then I guess the main character, maybe he's turning back into a human, if that makes sense. So it's like kind of like a reverse zombie story. We're looking forward to it, man. I'm expecting some wackiness for sure from Dennis Camp and Stepan Morian. We got Chewy Queso in the chat. He says plenty of highs and lows in King's Bat Run. That's what I hear. A lot of highs, a lot of lows. Danny P 119 says Bleeding Hearts sounds good. I think Bleeding Hearts might be my most anticipated DC Vertigo title for sure, but maybe even like new 2026 comic. Actually, now that you mention it, I'm working on a video now where I'm going to be talking about my top 10 most anticipated comics for the year, and Bleeding Hearts is definitely on there. Maybe it tops the list. Pretty much does top the list. Bug Wars, the Spider Witch special. Just want to mention this real quick. Little one shot in the Bug Wars universe. If you guys didn't read Bug Wars last year, definitely check it out. Really cool stuff from Jason Aaron and Mohamed Asrar. It's like that movie, if you ever saw it, Ant Bully, if you were a kid. It's that kid who gets shrunk down and lives with the ants. So it's like Ant Bully, but mix it with Game of Thrones. If that sounds interesting to you at all, it's really gruesome. It's really violent and bloody. And yeah, this kid gets shrunken down into the world of bugs in his backyard, and it kind of goes from there. Really cool stuff. How many more do we got? We got a lot. That's all right. Let's talk about, maybe we'll go a little quicker. We'll speed it up a little bit, guys. All right. So let's talk about Captain America. Excellent stuff from Chip Zdarsky. And we got Valeria Shitty, of course. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. You guys saw me and my wife. Oh, no, that's embarrassing. But yeah, I've been thinking this Chip Zdarsky stuff is really sick. They took last month off, but that's all right. I think that they are off to a really, really strong Captain America run. I was saying to someone that this could be, because I didn't pick up the Ed Brubaker stuff, right? Because I'm a newer comic book reader. Like I wasn't picking that up when it came out. This Captain America run it very well could be like my Captain America run. You know what I mean? Like my definitive Captain America. I really do feel like that. DCKO, that new event from DC, you know, we're going to be picking that up, of course, riding that one out. All 5 issues there. DCKO Night Fight, same kind of thing. I think it's pretty interesting what's going on. It's not like my favorite series of all time, but you know, it's pretty fun seeing all the different versions of Batman. Of course, you get that Josh Williams, or you get that Dan Mora on the artwork, of course. So that's cool seeing all the different versions of Batman done by Dan Mora. Die Loaded is a fun series out of Image Comics, written by Kieran Gillen with artwork from Stephanie Hans. You're going to want to read Die, the first volume, before you even start Die Loaded, because it is very much a sequel series. But Die Loaded, definitely loving it. I love the world of Die, so cool. Daredevil is a new series from Stephanie Phillips. She's going to be writing this one with artwork from Lee Garbett. And yeah, definitely anticipating this one. This one will make the top 10 list for sure. And yeah, we're excited to see what Stephanie Phillips does with the Daredevil character. Stephanie Phillips has just been killing over there. I think that, a lot of people, maybe you're not so hot on Stephanie Phillips just as a writer. I don't care, man. I think she everything that I've read from Stephanie Phillips has been good. Like Grimm was really good. A lot of her indie stuff I think is really solid. Wasn't like the biggest fan of, like, I think she was on Harley Quinn. I was like, okay, this series is okay. Um, I've not read Stephanie Phillips Marvel stuff. I will say that. So whether or not she's the right pick for Daredevil, I'm not sure, but I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued, absolutely. So we're gonna be checking that one out. Deathstroke the Terminator is a new DC Next Level title, and it's going to be written by Tony Fleece, I believe. Yeah, Tony Fleece and Carmine Di Giamenico is doing the art. We're going to be picking up at least issue 1. I'm not the biggest Deathstroke fan in the world, but I am interested in checking out the DC Next Level stuff. Just seeing if it vibes with me. I'm not like the biggest Lobo fan. When we get down to it, I'll speak to that. But yeah, End of Life is a new DC Vertigo series from Kyle Starks with art from Steve Pugh. I think it's like a Hitman type of thing, and the preview that they released is pretty solid. This one, I will say, is probably my least anticipated DC Vertigo title, but that's not to say like I love Kyle Stark's stuff. I think he's a really funny writer. I think Steve Pugh has a really cool art style. It's just like the concept is like my least anticipated. It's still anticipated, but out of the first wave of DC Vertigo, it's probably on the bottom there. Escape, dude, Escape is definitely going to be on the pull list. Escape has been excellent. Got that writing from Rick Remender, who's just killing it. It looks like, is this ending with, okay, volume 1. Hopefully it goes beyond 6 issues, because man, Escape has been excellent as a war comic. Tons of great emotional moments in it as well. Get that excellent artwork from Daniel Cunha. It really is like some of the most beautiful artwork on stands right now. So very much excited about Escape. That one's on the pull list for sure. Just like Everything Dead and Dying. Looks like we have one more of this. Damn, that's actually heartbreaking. Death Comes to Caverton. So one more issue of Everything Dead and Dying. This is Tate Bromwell and Jacob Phillips zombie series. And it's been totally different than any zombie series I've ever read. A lot of emotions packed into this one. And yeah, it's just this guy who's he doesn't get affected by zombies. He's trying to keep his town going that's filled with zombies, but he doesn't want to kill the zombies because he thinks that they're still, the people that he knows and loves is still in there. And like the personalities are just buried beneath the zombie personality, I guess. So a group of humans come into his town and they start killing all the zombies. So things escalate from there. He's like, hey, stop killing my friends. They're like, hey, we're killing these zombies because they're trying to kill us. Anyways, it's been excellent. So Everything Dead and Dying, definitely check that one out. Exquisite Corpses has been a fun one from James Tynion IV. He's got his whole Exquisite Corpse band of people working on it. They're all switching who's doing the art, who's doing the writing. Seems like a really fun project. Like this one, for example, is going to be written by Tyler Boss a little bit. So yeah, that's pretty cool, man. It's a battle royale slasher Halloween horror sort of series, and it's been really good so far. Definitely don't miss out on Exquisite Corpses. Yeah, we're in the F's now. Fantastic Four by Ryan North. I'm definitely going to continue that. Really excited to jump on with this issue 1. I was previously collecting Fantastic Four in the last volume. I probably stopped around like issue like 15 or something. My plan was to switch to trades. And yeah, but I've been thinking, Ryan North's stuff has been excellent. Like it's a really, really great, just sci-fi, Fantastic Four goodness. Like the family aspects are there. I think he's nailing each characterization of the main Fantastic Four team. G.I. Joe, my favorite part of the Energon universe. So that's going to be on the pull list. as we're closing out the Dreadnought War. And yeah, man, I think that G.I. Joe is just really cool. At some point, I imagine Josh Williamson will be leaving the title, but maybe not. Maybe he just loves G.I. Joe so much and he'll stick around for a really long time. So yeah, dude, I think that Joshua Williamson and Tom Riley have just been killing the corner of the G.I. Joe universe, corner of the Energon universe with G.I. Joe. Geiger is my favorite Ghost Machine title, and it's been that way for a long time. So really love Geiger. I think that it's just so my vibe. So Geiger, I'm definitely going to be pulling, continuing into 2026. If you guys haven't read Geiger yet, you got to check it out. High Strangeness, I will be dropping this at some point. I have not read since issue 2 came out, so I gotta figure that out. Actually, maybe it only ends at issue 5. Maybe I'll ride that one out. I don't know. It's tough to series like that. It's tough. Like, do I just waste $10 and just keep pulling it? I don't know. Is Ted okay? Now I'm really excited about this one because this is from friend of the show Dave Chisholm. Really, really big fan of Dave Chisholm's artwork, and also a fan when he takes over the writing duties too. So he's doing the writing and the art for this. It's out of Mad Cave Studios. It's all about, okay, this last paragraph here. Is Ted okay mashes up a paranoid existentialism of Severance with the cosmic sci-fi of Akira while exploring what happens when the act of help goes horribly wrong. So yeah, dude, themes of mental health and stuff like that. I'm sure it's going to be real mind bending, and I'm just a big fan of Dave Chisholm, so that one's going on the pull list for sure. That one might be on FOC. I gotta tell my, maybe I'm too late. I gotta tell my shop about that one. Justice League Unlimited. Been loving this one from Mark Waid. I will say that this whole middle part, like I don't know, the whole We Are Yesterday, wasn't a big fan of that. Kind of took the wind out of the series. Stop tying this series into other stuff. I guess you can't help it, but man, the first arc was so sick. You immediately throw it into an event. Kind of lost all the momentum for me. But then as we're building up to DCKO, starting to build it back a little bit. I think the Terrific 10 stuff is really fun. So yeah, just keep it going with just the awesome Mark Waid appreciating the DC universe. It just feels like the TV show, Justice League Unlimited for sure. So yeah, as long as you keep that vibe going, I'll be happy. Let's see. Just scrolling down to see how many more we got. Lobo is a DC Next Level title that I am not looking forward to that much. Jorge Corona, Scotty Young, right? So those are the draws for me, but I do not give a shit about Lobo. Like literally at all. Like literally at all. I do not care about Lobo. Not even an iota, bro. So to get me to pull a Lobo series, it's tough. It's tough, man. I don't know about this one. If I'm pulling that one or not. Maybe we'll get issue 1 just to try it out. But yeah, let me know what you guys are excited about. You get excited about Lobo? Let me know. Am I missing out by not being a Lobo head? Masterminds is a cool sci-fi series out of Dark Horse, written by Zach Kaplan. I'm a big fan of him, so that one's gonna stay on the pull list. Gotta close that one out. Nightwing has been fun. Vactor says, "Whoa, K hates the main man." It's just like I just any character that has like chains, like most likely I don't give a shit about him. That makes sense. Like Ghost Rider, I'm sorry, dude, and that might hurt a lot of people in the chat. I know Ghost Rider has a lot of fans. I'm not a Ghost Rider guy. Like all those like edgy characters, like Cable, right? Like if you're a character that has like a million pouches, I'm also not a symbiote guy, right? So that stuff that's like has that like edge to it. I don't know. That doesn't do it for me. But Nightwing is excellent. This is that series written by Dan Waters. We know that a new artist is coming on. So that'll be cool to see. I think it's Dennis Cowan. Dennis Cowan's coming in, man. So really legendary artist coming in for the Nightwing series. Loving that. Marcus Longioni in the chat says, "How dare I, dude?" I don't know in reference to which one, if that one's talking about Ghost Rider or not. Vactor with a bunch of chain emojis. The RSTD1, he says, "I hate the 90s." Marcus, he says, "Ghost Rider is amazing." Yeah, I wish I could like those kinds of characters, but I'm just like, yeah, it really is like if you're in that 90s era, like my eyes just like roll into the back of my head when I see that kind of stuff, man. So, listen, Recommend me a Ghost Rider run. Maybe I gotta read some Ghost Rider and become a fan. If I were to be one, it'd probably be like a Robbie Reyes or something, like a legacy Ghost Rider character, not necessarily like the main dude. Anyways, dude, let's talk Rook Exodus. Rook Exodus is amazing. It's a great sci-fi series out of Ghost Machine, and yeah, it's just really great stuff from Jeff Johns and Jason Fabok. It's got like an environmentalist kind of theme to it, but it's like the sci-fi world. It's kind of like Borderlands, the game. If you guys ever played that, it's this planet that's been you know totally overtaken by like raiders and stuff like that, and it's just the people that are left on the planet just fighting for the planet and trying to keep it safe and livable because that's the only planet they got. Earth is not livable anymore at this point or whatever. So yeah, Rook Exodus, just some great some sci-fi stuff here out of Ghost Machine. I've been loving it. Almost done here, guys. We're in the S's, so let's talk about Skinbreaker. This is a fun series. It's not my favorite series of all time. It is written by Robert Kirkman. The last issue just really confused me the way it ended. I'm really confused how they'll continue with the series. It seems like our main character is like giving up. So I don't know what's going on with that. But the artwork from David Finch is really good. This Superman title, dude. Okay, so Josh Williamson's been writing this one, and I've been collecting it ever since issue 1. It's my first ever main title Superman that I've been pulling. It's had its up and downs. Like, I think it's not been perfect all the way throughout, but I think that it has been a really solid Superman run. And where we are right now, they're doing a lot of like DCKO tie-ins and stuff like that. But still, I think that, when we get over here, when it's the reign of the Superboys, right? Like, there's always some fun stuff that Josh Williamson's doing. Like, there was that bit where Lois Lane was Superwoman for a little bit. Like, it's got interesting kind of new villains, like that Unchained dude or whatever. So yeah, I think the Superman run has been really solid so far, and I've been loving it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is going to be on the poll for sure. I was loving Jason Aaron stuff, and we're keeping it going with Jin Lewin Yang. I think he's got some really interesting little twists that can, it'll be a fun story, I'm sure. And we got that Freddie E. Williams on the art too. This one is a glitch, bro. I can't get this off of my pull list because it never loads because the series is like indefinite hiatus. It's never coming out. So I can't get this off my app. And that's kind of frustrating. It won't go away. I guess I could try on the website. But anyways, The City Beneath Her Feet. This is a series out of Distillery. I have issue 2. Actually, I'm sitting right next to it. I have issue 2 here. We're going to be hopefully getting issue 3. That's one that I don't order from my shop, and I have to go find it out in the wild. There's like a comic book store that's not my main store that orders Distillery stuff, so hopefully I can find issue 3 when that is out. We're in the T's. The Exorcism at Buckingham Palace. So this follows up the Hannah Rose May is the writer. She did another series called The Exorcism at 1600 Penn, which is obviously the White House. And I thought that was a really great series. We had that great artwork from Vanessa Del Rey. We don't get Vanessa Del Rey on the artwork here, but I think that the whole setup of it, I mean, just an exorcism at these famous buildings, like I think it's a cool concept. So we'll be picking that one up, I think. Almost done here, guys. The Lucky Devils. I was thinking about dropping this one, but I think that it's going to finish soon. I think that it's going to finish after issue 9. So we're going to keep it going, but I'm like way behind. I was going to wait till it all comes out and I can binge read it. I got a cough really bad. Jeez. I had a cough real bad and make my eyes water. Oh, jeez. All right, so Nice House by the Sea. This is that series from James Tynion IV. It's been on a really long hiatus because they're waiting for the rest of the Vertigo stuff to kick back up. But I do want to mention, I do got the poster on the ceiling. You guys see that? Nice House by the Sea. So I do got that poster up there. I've been loving it. Everything from James Tynion IV. Jeez, my eyes are watering wicked bad. Danny P in the chat, he says he's excited for Iron Man. I didn't put that one on my pull list. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that one. My hope for that Iron Man series is that my shop has an issue 1 that I can grab off the stands and see if I like it. But I don't want to let them know to order me one. We'll see. We'll see about that Iron Man series. I'm just not an Iron Man fan like at all, so we'll have to see about that. Keeping it going, the last kind of DC Vertigo title, at least for now, that's on my pull list, I believe, until the next ones are solicited, is The Peril of the Brutal Dark and Ezra Kane Mystery. Now, this one is from Jacob Phillips and Chris Condon. Love this duo. They do the That Texas Blood and they do the Enfield Gang Massacre. Almost like an Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips, like a duo that's just like so locked in and loves working together. So hopefully they work together for a long, long time. Chris Conn and Jacob Phillips, some of my favorite creators in the game. Whenever they pair up, yeah, it just gives me that the shades of like a young Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips kind of vibe, man. So the Ezra Kane mystery, I'm excited for the Peril of the Brutal Dark. It's 1941. He's a private investigator type, kind of like an archaeologist, private investigator. So like a mix of like Indiana Jones vibes, right? So I'm excited about the series that comes out on February 25th. The Power Fantasy. So of course, continuing this one, written by Kieran Gillen. Wow, are we about to hit like a really long? Is this? Uh, this is not the end of the series, right? With issue 16, can't be. It can't be. It must not be solicited. But yeah, been loving the Power Fantasy. We're excited to see potentially how it ends. I mean, this looks crazy. Issue 16 is the last one solicited. Like, I feel like there should have been one for March. And March solicits not come out yet, maybe. Okay, cool. So yeah, listen, Power Fantasy, Kieran Gillen, excellent artwork from Casper Wingard. I'm gonna keep it going, but if there's only 2 issues left, that's depressing. That actually is kind of depressing. The Ultimates series. So we got a couple more issues of this left. We know it's written by Dennis Camp. It's going to be tying into the Ultimate Endgame as we close out the whole Endgame universe. But I think the Ultimate series has been pretty solid. Going to keep it going, closing out the Ultimate universe. Transformers, we talked about it earlier. Even if it's not my favorite Energon universe, that would go to G.I. Joe. I still think that Transformers is pretty solid. I guess for me, it's just like I don't have that love from when I was a kid for Transformers. I like them. I had a couple Transformers here and there. I watched the Michael Bay, like the first 2 movies or whatever in theaters. But yeah, I was never like a Transformers guy. I was more like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, if anything, or like Power Rangers or just superheroes in general. But yeah, so Transformers, I'm loving it. Even if I don't have that deep love for Transformers like some of you in the audience might have, I think it's been pretty solid. We're going to keep it going. Handful of issues left, like Ultimate Endgame, Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Wolverine. We'll just tie those all in one, man. So yeah, I've been pulling all those since they started. I really regret not continuing with Ultimate X-Men in single issues. That's like my biggest regret. I might go back and try to collect those in singles, but the more I read of that and catch up on the app, I'm like, dude, Ultimate X-Men might have been the best Ultimate title this whole time, and like no one knows it. Like the best kept secret almost. But yeah, we're gonna continue with Ultimate Endgame, Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Wolverine for sure. Universal Monsters. So a new one's coming out. It's focused on the Phantom of the Opera. I don't know a damn thing about Phantom of the Opera. I didn't even know Phantom of the Opera was technically a Universal monster, but we get that excellent writing from Tyler Boss, I'm sure. I thought Tyler Boss had a great year last year with the series You'll Do Bad Things, a nice horror slasher out of Image Comics. So yeah, Tyler Boss teaming up with Martin Simmons on the art. Now Martin Simmons does the artwork for Department of Truth, and he also does the artwork for the Dracula series, which was another Universal Monsters title. So yeah, man, Tyler Boss teaming up with Martin Simmons. That sounds sick, man. Even if I don't know anything about Phantom of the Opera, but listen, if it's like a slasher series, then Tyler Boss is the perfect pick. He just proved it with the You'll Do Bad Thing. So excited about that. 4 more to talk about before we close out New Comic Book Weekly. Let's talk about Wonder Woman for a little bit, okay? So, listen, I don't know how you guys feel about it in the chat. Maybe my chat is less so aggressively hateful towards this Wonder Woman series, but in other corners of the internet, man, they hate this Wonder Woman series. I think the Mouse Man stuff is some of the best stuff out of DC. Like honestly, like Daniel Sampier on the artwork, it's Wonder Woman freeing an island of people from like a megalomaniac, like nutso mouse man. Like I think that it's like a mini Warworld saga, but just for Diana Wonder Woman. I think it's good, man. I like the mouse man stuff a lot. Now we have a different writer coming in for a little bit. We got Stephanie Williams, right? And Jeffrey Spokes on the art. So that's really cool. Jeffrey Spokes has a cool look. I would say at some point I would like to see literally this creative team. Like if Stephanie Williams and Jeffrey Spokes, at some point when Tom King leaves the title, I hope that Stephanie Williams and Jeffrey Spokes would be the ones to pick up and run with this Wonder Woman title. We'll have to see. I don't know how long Tom King is sticking around. But yeah, it would be cool to get a woman writing Wonder Woman. That would be cool. Three more to talk about, like Bug Wars. We don't know when the second volume is coming back for Bug Wars, but excellent stuff. We're hoping. I'm gonna leave it on the subscription, leave it on the pull list for when that comes back. The free comic book day. So this won't leave the app either. It's another one that just never loads, and I can never take it off my pull list and unsubscribe to it. So it's another one that's glitched. But then the last but not least, we're talking about Saga. So I've not read Saga ever since Saga came back for its hiatus. So issue 55, I've been collecting Saga, as you guys can see. Like I have the collected icon next to everything, but I've not read Saga. My whole plan was to read the compendium, like reread Saga, and then get ready for this issue 55. But yeah, I just never got around to rereading it, so I've just been pulling it, and at some point we'll binge Saga, and that'll be a real fun time. But that'll conclude it, man. Those are all of my comic book pulls for 2026. Everything from DC, Marvel, and the Indies. Not a ton of it, Marvel stuff. Like when the Ultimate Universe ends, it's pretty much gonna be Captain America. It's pretty much gonna be maybe Iron Man, Fantastic Four. Yeah, so it might be a little light on the Marvel series going forward, but you guys know I'm always pulling a ton of DC, always pulling a ton of indies as well. And let me know down in the comments, what do you have on your pull list? Is there anything that I missed? Anything major that, hey, Cody, you're missing this. You're an idiot. Let me know down in the comments. And while you're down there, like if you liked and sub if you love, man. We're on the road to 5K. We're closing in on 5,000 subscribers. I just need, 150 more, man. So pretty close to that. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed New Comic Book Weekly. We did the pull list, we did the weekly comic book reviews, and then I went in depth with my entire subscription, my entire pull list, man. So hope you guys enjoyed New Comic Book Weekly every Monday around 4 p.m. Shout out to everybody in the chat: Danny P, Marcus Longioni, Vactor, of course, Chewy Queso. Yeah, thank you guys for coming out. Really appreciate you guys checking out the stream. And I'll catch you next week for another New Comic Book Weekly.